So, I can go work out for, tomorrow, and I'll be sore Friday, and, recover by Saturday. If I don't keep that up, though, if I don't put another weightlifting session in there, at least a week behind, or, at least within a week's distance of the last rep session, it's not going to do it. By then, the muscle has already, it's gone. Now it's out of recovery, and now it's basically going to go reset it back to the way it was. Because it's like, okay, well, whatever you did that fucked your arms up the first time, you haven't done it again. So I'm going to assume you're not going to do it again for a little bit. So I'm just going to go back to patching shit up again. So you got to find that balance between coming up with a consistent workout schedule and actually being able to measure results. Because if your goal is to lose weight, then you might have a harder time doing that if you're doing stuff like lifting weights and doing other things, because you might just be taking fat cells and converting them into muscle, as opposed to burning off fat cells, getting lean first, and then putting muscle back on top of that. Because I would argue that the latter is a little bit more effective, because while building up muscle is a very good way to work on the heart and keep blood pressure regular, it's not really tied to your metabolism as far as I understand it. Everything that I've learned about fitness and what I would consider sports medicine, even though you don't have to be a sports athlete to be a sport, is that the bulk of your metabolism is right here. This big old chunk of muscle right here. And the other part is right here. Because before humans had wheels, this is all we had. This is all we used to get around. So, and moving is very important for a human being. If you stay stationary, you will die. You can't gather food. You can't allocate resources. You can't communicate with other people. So being stationary is bad. So, I imagine that's why our metabolism is tied into our legs, because depending on how much we use our legs, our body will adjust how fast we process food versus how slow we process food. If we're not moving very far and not moving very often, our body's going to assume that we're in a situation that we don't need to really be that, it's not that dire. Wherever we're at, pretty sedentary. We got our food here, we got our water over here, we got our camp right here, so it's all good. Now you take people that live on the plains, nomadic people and stuff like that have to get up and every day, essentially they travel 30, 40 miles